Hello everyone, can you buy heartworm prevention for your dog for less than $10 a year? Sure you can. Heartworm preventative is a big expense for anyone who has a dog, and it should be readily available to everyone, no matter their income. It's a terrible disease, and worse than many others because it is so easy to prevent. The big drug companies that sell heartworm preventative make a healthy profit off of their products and are not about to help owners find a cheaper option. I do not have stock in these companies, do not market their products, and do not mind if you find an alternative. What I care about is seeing that all dogs are healthy, and I would like to give you this alternative that I use. What is the alternative? You can prevent heartworm disease by using the same medication sold by drug companies for a fraction of the price. If you have a large dog, you can order the generic Ivermectin from Amazon.com. I have large dogs, so this is the form of ivermectin that I give them to prevent heartworm disease. The cost of a 50 cubic centimeters bottle is about equal to a 6-month box of heartworm preventative, or much less, depending on where you are buying your preventative. When the generic ivermectin arrives, it should be kept in the refrigerator. The expiration date is about 3 years. Quite a few of the doses listed for generic ivermectin on the internet are absurd, and the label on the most common heartworm preventative is only 0.006 milligrams per kilogram. Since ivermectin is sold at 1%, or 10 milligrams per cubic centimeter, a 20 kilograms dog needs less than 0.05 cubic centimeters. Even when you are giving the dose to a big dog, the ivermectin dose is so low that it needs to be drawn up with an insulin, diabetes, syringe. There are larger syringes for sale with needles, but you cannot use a large syringe to dose a dog. I would recommend you try to buy a single insulin syringe with a needle from a local pharmacy. It would be cheaper and more accurate. Since the insulin syringe does not need to be sterile, you can reuse it. I keep mine in the refrigerator next to my ivermectin. I do not have children at my house, so I do not need to worry about the syringe in the refrigerator. If you need to be concerned, please keep it out of reach of children. Can I use the syringe every month? There might be some concern out there about reusing the needle and drawing up a small amount every month. The medication should be kept refrigerated to reduce bacterial growth. Most importantly, ivermectin should only be given orally. Dogs have a healthy bacteria population flourishing in their gut, and a small dose on a dog biscuit is not going to affect them. If you needed to give this medication on top of a dead and rotting squirrel each month, I would be concerned about GI upset. A drop on a little biscuit does not worry me. If you have a small dog, the ivermectin available for cattle is much too concentrated. There are several options to make it more diluted. You can make up a 30-to-1 dilution using propylene glycol. At this dilution rate, 0.1 cubic centimeters contains only 333 micrograms of ivermectin, so it is easy to dose a small dog at 0.1 ml per 10 pounds. To dilute the cattle strength, you need to add 0.1 ml of ivermectin 1% with 3 ml of propylene glycol. The only problem with that is buying the propylene glycol, keeping an extra 3 cubic centimeters syringe around for dilution purposes, and having another container to keep the dilute ivermectin in. The other option is to use the 0.08% ivermectin Drench for sheep. It is the same product I use for my large dogs. An 8-ounce bottle is enough to treat a 100-pound dog hundreds of times. If you have smaller volumes available or want to divide up a bottle with your neighbor, it will not be any more expensive than the product marketed for cattle. There is a 2-year expiration date, so even if you had to buy a bottle by yourself, it would only cost about $15 per year. Dogs only need about 3.5 micrograms per pound to safely prevent heartworm disease, according to the makers of HeartGuard, but due to some recent research done at Auburn, I am including the dose for about 7 micrograms per pound. Since 1 milliliter of the sheep product contains 800 micrograms, you only need to give a small amount even of this dilute product. I attached the dosage chart in the comments section so it would be easy for you to access it. Do I have to be very careful with the dose? Since you are using such a small amount of this drug, you could even double the dose and still only use a tiny amount. There is a comment in the advertisement about this cattle ivermectin being dangerous for dogs, but I think they do not want you to use it and buy their more expensive product for dogs. If it is given as an overdose, it will be dangerous. Ivermectin is used at a much higher dose when treating demodectic mange, 0.3 to 0.6 mg per kilogram, and for a long time, an average of 3 to 8 months. It is quite safe, even at those levels. It would be more economical to treat the larger dogs with the cattle ivermectin, but if you have small and large dogs, the sheep product is easier to use. You can decide which product is right for you. When the correct ivermectin dose is drawn up, you can put it on a dog biscuit or other dry food that your dog likes to eat. The volume of medication is very small, but be sure to put it on a treat, something stinky, where she will not notice the smell. Can ivermectin cause problems in some dogs? Ivermectin is safe to use in breeding animals and pregnant dogs. Owners of collies, shelties, Aussies, and some other mixed-breed dogs might be sensitive to ivermectin. If your vet has been reluctant to prescribe Heartgard to your dog, and you are concerned in any way, you can test for the mutation on the MDR1 gene that causes sensitivity. Testing is available through the Washington State University College of Veterinary Medicine. Of course, these dogs can be given heartworm preventatives that do not utilize ivermectin, like Revolution and Advantage Multi, moxidectin, are both topical, so they treat fleas as well as prevent heartworm disease. Both of these medications are fairly new and will need to be purchased from your veterinarian. Heartgard Plus contains ivermectin as well as Pyrantel PAM08, a dewormer. Pyrantel PAM08 is one of the cheapest dewormers on the market and is used to treat roundworms in puppies. Roundworms may not even be an issue in adult dogs unless they are nursing. The drug also treats hookworms, a more important parasite and one that should be controlled. Effective dewormers can be bought without a prescription. Even if your dog was continuously exposed, it would still be cheaper to buy these drugs separately. If you want to purchase a monthly chewable tablet instead of using the sheep dewormer, or if it is not available when you need it, prescription heartworm preventatives are available in Australia, and many other countries without a prescription. Just type what you are looking for into your search engine and find a site that will ship to the US or wherever you live. For some dog owners, paying a little more and buying the product from your veterinarian is the better option. You may be better off going for this option if you have a small dog. You are nervous about drawing up the ivermectin into a syringe. You are afraid to figure out the dose for your dog. You believe the advertisements and think that the branded product is safer than generic. This liquid method is not as easy as picking up a package and giving your dog a chewable every month. No matter what method you use, please continue protecting your dog however you feel is best. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about buying heartworm prevention cheaply, or your dog already has heartworm infection and you need advice on how to treat them less expensively, leave a comment and I will get back to you right away. If you have any questions about your dog's health, you can also contact me at my Ask a Vet column at yourpetsathome.com or pethelpful.com. If this video has been helpful, give it a like so that YouTube will send it to more dog owners.